Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The long-awaited episode. It's been a week or so, been 2 weeks or so, been a little bit too long since our last hot takes video. But today we have a very special guest, a man with a plan, a busy man, a guy that recently has been going crazy on Zombies YouTube. We have the man MCZ.
What's up,
How you
guys?
feeling, man?
Pretty
How you
good, man.
feeling,
I'm
man?
excited to read off some hot takes and
Yeah.
hopefully give some of my own too.
Yeah, well, we do have a hot take from the guest himself at the end of the episode. Stick around for that. And I messed up. It's MZC, not MCZ. I gotta lock in. I'm sorry. MC Zombie Slayer, MZC.
Everybody always messes it up, dude. It's totally cool.
I'm not locked in. I'm not locked in. But we'll have you read the first take because you are the guest. A smoking hot take, apparently. We'll see how you feel.
Okay, this one comes from iFusions, aka Sean. He says, Extinction is better than Black Ops 4 and Cold War Zombies. I definitely...
All right, brother.
I definitely can't agree with that. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Sometimes they might be wrong. In this case,
He's wrong. I'll say it for you. I'll say
Black
it
Ops
for
4
you.
might not be the best survival game out there if you're not really like a hardcore zombies fan, but the Easter eggs were fantastic, and then Cold War is pretty much the opposite of the spectrum there. If you're a fan of survival, you probably enjoy Cold War Zombies. But Extinction is probably the worst of both worlds over there. So not a terrible game mode. Wouldn't probably be worse than maybe Vanguard, but definitely not better than BO4 Cold War.
Definitely nowhere near those. I mean, that's just disrespectful. I mean, I feel like Extinction just has such a ceiling, you know what I mean? Where there's not much replayability. You play it a couple times, and Zombies has so many unique things in it. Extinction, like, I mean, come on, who's loading up Point of Contact in the year 2024 or in the year 2018 to be that exact? I don't think anybody is. So
Nobody.
I love that you love something different, but let's lock in. And our next take here is from Ginger Melon. He says, Cold War is the second best Zombies game that we've had since after BO3. Okay. I don't hate it. I think the main two contention here, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, would be Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 4, right? That'd be the other two we consider.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of in the same boat here. Like, I mean, those are really the only other two Zombies games that I'd put in contention, so I agree with that. But I just feel like I'm more of a hardcore player, so for me, like, the Easter eggs kind of dictate like half of how I play the game. I enjoy how easy and how fast the round 100s are in Cold War compared to Black Ops 4 even, and but Infinite Warfare especially. But yeah, I just think that the depth of the game, the mechanics there are like kind of lacking in Cold War aside from the survival aspect. Like Black Ops 4, you have the elixirs. In Infinite Warfare, you have the Fate and Fortune cards, which add some replayability. Director's Cut is great. I just don't think Cold War touches them from a depth perspective.
I think Cold War did a great job at progression. I like a lot of the out-of-map progression with the crystals, with the weapon gunsmith. I think Cold War did a great job at that. I hope in this next game we see a mix, right? We have that gobble gum system. We have hopefully the operator bundles that are not just pay for, but you also can grind for. It's kind of like World War II. Yeah. And then I hope we do see that crystal system we see in Cold War. But to get back to the take itself, I think it's close. Although I do like Spaceman, I kind of like Rave, and obviously Mephistopheles is great. The drop-off on IW is just such a big cliff that I can't get over the fact that the last 3 DLCs just aren't near as good as the first 2 maps on that game. And then with Black Ops 4, it's the same kind of thing where it's hit or miss. You have maps like 9, Ancient Evil, I even love Classified. And then you have, Blood of the Dead, Dead of the Night, which just, aren't for me. So, I don't know. I don't hate the take. I think it's up in the air. But if I had to say my second favorite zombie game, I'd probably go with Black Ops 4. Very slightly, though.
Yeah, I'd say that BO4 slightly beats out Infinite Warfare. The more that I play Infinite Warfare again and really get into it, it's definitely closing the gap, especially with something like Director's Cut. But I guess it really just depends on what your play style is. Like, if you want to just hop on and play a game of casual zombies, I'd say Cold War is definitely better than
100%.
BO4 and Infinite Warfare. But if you're looking to sweat a little bit, then yeah, BO4 is probably
100%. And I really hope we see something like Director's Cut in this next game. I really do, because I love that system. But next take right here from Malachi, my boy. Have you read that off?
Oh God, a paragraph.
Hey,
I think
Zombies, Community, and Essays. Name a more iconic duo. Let me tell you that.
All right, I think that people who complain about Dead of the Night's design just haven't played it enough. An average game is very easy to start. After a few initial playthroughs of the map, parts become trivial, map looks awesome, and the Easter egg is pretty good. Only problem that he has is the number of boss enemies. And I think that the last point there kind of plagues the majority of Black Ops 4 in general, but Chaos maps is how many different types of like elemental zombies there are. It really kind of messes with your overall like just play of the game. Like if they had him for a round or something, it'd be totally cool. But yeah, but to get back to the Take-Two itself, I actually 100% agree with them. Dead of the Night just I feel like got super underrated at the start. Nobody was into it because it kind of just dropped on a random Tuesday in the middle of January, February. Like nobody had any idea it was coming out. It is a really hard map to pick up. Like if you're just jumping into it, there's so much going on. I mean, you got the trap pieces. You've got like basically like a 45-minute to an hour upgrade quest for the Wonder Weapon. The Easter egg obviously is a little bit more difficult than, let's say, your
average egg. Yeah, just your average egg.
You know, something average. But yeah, once you do get to learn it, like the shield parts are all right by spawn. The Wonder Weapon upgrade quest is actually incredibly easy, especially when you know exactly how to do all the steps. But yeah, I think that's quickly becoming one of my favorite maps in Black Ops 4 the more that I revisit it.
I am the complete opposite. I very dislike Dead of the Night, and it's not because of the difficulty. I am a very Easter egg heavy player. I love Easter eggs. I'm not a high round guy. I'm very Easter egg heavy, and there's things I don't mind the setup on Dead of the Night. I think a lot of people, when they complain about Dead of the Night, they complain about the amount of parts for the silver bullet. They complain about the crystal upgrade for pack of parts. They complain about how to get the Alistair's Folly, Alistair's Annihilator, whatever you call it, right? So a lot of people complain about that, but my main issue with Dead of the Night is some of the other steps and the boss zombie, because I think the vampire, the Nosferatu, is the worst boss zombie ever. I cannot stand those, especially because Black Ops 4 has super sprinters on those higher rounds, and you can't regen your health. And even a perk like Quick Revive does not help that much. So that's a big issue, number one. And then number two, you have steps like the scratch steps, the horoscope steps. Those kind of steps, first off, it was very glitchy when it came out, and those steps just aren't very fun. I don't mind code steps, but when there's 800 different spawns, it really can compare it to something like the bird step on Blood, where it's just more tedious rather than it being fun. And I think some maps, especially later in Blundell's, sort of development, he focused too much on codes rather than just sort of having a fun, difficult gameplay experience. And I think that is a big difference between a map like Dead of the Night, where it's a lot of codes, a lot of, fetch quests, a lot of part grabbing, and then a map like 9, where more of the difficult steps are the raw step, where there is a code, but it's mixed with gameplay, or something like the Downu step with the tree. I feel like that's very different. I like those Easter egg steps where it has gameplay and code sort of coexist, rather than you just running around looking for scratches. You know what I mean?
My bad, you kind of cut out right there for a second.
Oh, hell no.
It was just right at the end. I was like, oh shit, do I talk or?
No, you're good. You're good.
I totally feel that. I think a lot of it is like just the community overall being like, especially like let's compare it to Cold War, where they're like, oh, the Easter egg's too easy, like we need harder steps and whatnot, or we solved the Easter egg in 2 hours, 3 hours, the whole hunt was over. And I think towards the end of Blundell's time with Activision and with Treyarch, it became more about like, how can I stump the community and make these Easter eggs a lot harder to solve than they really need to be, and keep them engaged in the hunt, rather than it be like, okay, these steps are going to be coherent for the average player or the sub-average player to actually complete. It just became more about like how long can we make these like really take, and especially it started with Rev, where it became like a 2-week quest of people looking for a random rocker on the map and nobody had any idea what's going on.
Where do I throw the summoning key? What the hell?
Yep.
No, I completely agree. Like, yeah, there's a time and place for a fetch quest like that, and I think there's times where they've done well in sort of a fetch quest like that. But Dead of the Night, in my opinion, isn't one of those times. And I feel like this next game in BO6, that's really one of the hit or miss things if we're kind of looking past the Take more towards the future. I agree, I agree Cold War's too easy. Like, the Easter eggs were too easy, especially Forsaken. And Black Ops 4, I'm not going to say they're too hard, but the steps were just too random. They didn't feel like an actual... They didn't feel like they made sense. They need to have sort of a balance with it, and I think all the best Easter eggs, whether it's Garad, whether it's 9, I already mentioned Ancient Evil, Origins, whatever, those Easter eggs make sense when you actually go through them, and they are difficult. Those difficult Easter eggs are nice. So I agree. I think that you gotta have that difficulty, but it has to be coincide with the gameplay rather than annoying, and you gotta pause and listen to your "Hi guys, Mr. Ruff Wolf is here" type like video every 10 seconds. The guy's gonna get millions and millions of views off this next game, man. I'm telling you right now. But thank you, Mullet, for the hot take. Pretty good. I don't like Dead Night. You got one of us to agree. You got one of us. You got one of us. But our next take right here from Finnabob. Hot take! I think the map from Descent from AW would be fire if they remade it. I'm gonna let you start this one off.
All right, I was a big fan of AW when it was out. I played the game live service. I did all the Easter eggs. I was hunting on day one when those maps came out. I had a good time with them. I thought that they, for the most part, were all pretty fun for not being a Treyarch game. It was nice zombies. It'd be cool to see updated graphics. It'd be cool to see the Easter egg. Maybe get some tweaks just so it's not, you know, crazy. But I don't know. I feel like anything from Advanced Warfare, they should just kind of leave in the
past.
Dust. I wouldn't mind like exosuits coming back to COD or some sort of like boosts and whatnot. But for the map Descent itself, I just feel like if people were to vote on that for a map to come back, it'd probably be towards the lower tiers of maps that people want to see return. So like, it could work. It could work with better updated graphics, better updated mechanics and whatnot. But that might be one just needs to sit in the grave.
Yeah, well, Descent has some really cool things about it. In my opinion, Descent is the best map in AW. I really do like Descent. I love the DJ Oz like section. I love the kill streaks in that map. I like a lot of the Easter egg parts. I think the gladiator step is cool. I think the end boss fight is pretty good, especially for a game that old when it was really a new concept. But AW just in itself, if we're gonna if I'm thinking remaster, right? I'm thinking, I mean, he said remade, but if I'm thinking remaster, I'm thinking keeping all the same mechanics of the game, not just the map.
Yeah.
And there things like the pack-a-punch system, things like that,
horrible,
really broke that game. And the characters as well. Oh, we didn't even get to that to Dead Night and the characters, but the characters in that game were terrible. So, besides Oz. So, like, I do like Dead Night, but I'm not Noah J top 10 map. So, there's definitely maps I like worse. All right, sorry. There's definitely maps I like better. There's definitely maps I like worse. Dead of the Night, in my opinion, is definitely in that higher tier of non-Treyarch maps, though.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much for the. Or not Dead of the Night. Did I say Dead of the Night? I meant Descent.
Yeah. Descent.
You guys know what I'm talking about, man. But our next take here is from Zombie Myth.
Dude, I saw this one come through. That's my guy. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Beast from Beyond is 10 times better than Spaceland Zombies. Have fun with that, guys.
Lol. He just said no. He already knows.
I feel like this is a troll. I deadass feel like he just sent that in to get a reaction. There's no way you could actually believe Beast from Beyond is 10 times better than Spaceland. Like, maybe if you're counting the Metastopheles boss fight as part of Beast from Beyond, like maybe I could give you the benefit of the doubt there, but absolutely not. Overall, Spaceland is like a peak tier Zombies map.
I am not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I am not giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. You might know him. I don't know you, bro. This is not a good take. Hop that ass back on the bus. You're going straight back where you came from, bro. That's trash. What are you talking about, Beast from Beyond?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with that. Even like, Metastopheles probably a better boss fight than the alien. Everything else about that map is just trash.
No, you know what? Let's just move on. I don't even want to look at the take. I don't even want to look at it. But our next take here from Fall Cake. The comic style, art style intro cutscenes from the Transit Crew and End of BO4 were awful and took away any emotion of in depth those cutscenes could have had. Now, I believe when he says cutscenes, he means those intro cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
The Buried in Jai-Rise one. So, time and place for those kind of cutscenes, right?
Yep.
The End of BO4 just wasn't the time or place, but obviously that was out of their control. That was obviously a budgetary thing. But in a map like Jai-Rise, where the comic strip could be more of an artistic style, I don't mind that at all. I thought it was kind of cool.
I don't either. I think with the Black Ops 2 maps, it was kind of a like upgrade from just the comic like book strips from the loading screens, where it was just like static music or like Richtofen and Kino. But it was kind of a transition period in BO2 where I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was pretty cool. It kind of gave the game something unique, and I do think the first like CGI cutscene was Origin, so it kind of like built up and built its way up there. So I kind of get what he's saying, but for BO2, I gotta disagree, but for Black Ops 4, absolutely. Like, even though that there were probably budget cuts and there was, you know, some stuff going on with the game just behind the scenes, there's absolutely no reason that for your 2 send-off maps for the Ether story that you couldn't get some sort of CGI going, especially considering I think every single Chaos map had CGI. But yeah, especially in Tag der Toten, it was just kind of like I get what's going on, like I get the emotions behind this, like I'm following the storyline, but just like definitely didn't hit as hard as the Blood of the Dead ending in CGI. I genuinely think Kino der Toten is an overhated map, and it's a good example of what casual zombies maps should be. See, I'm the opposite here. I think Kino's pretty overrated. Even going back to Black Ops 1 when I was playing that, I preferred 5, not even just because it was a challenge. I just thought 5 was a cooler map. I don't hate Kino by any means. I know a lot of people, that's where they first started playing zombies. And you know, like I do get like a casual zombies map. Yeah, Kino's great, but if you're comparing it to its predecessor, Endurance, like it didn't do anything to innovate besides a couple of new traps that then resurfaced in Ascension. So yeah, to me, I really feel like, I mean, obviously Kino is supposed to be a World at War map, but like Black Ops 1, the launch of that should have been Ascension and 5 because they coincide in the storyline and they kind of both upgraded in different ways. But I think as time has gone on and people look back at Kino, the thought of actually booting up and playing Kino der Toten is so much better than actually getting on the map and playing. I'll hop on for 15 rounds and I'm like, I'm done. Like I can't even casually play this map anymore.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, the Thunder Gun is the absolute savior of that map. Imagine that map without that gun in it. Like, and yes, at the time there was awesome things about the radios in that map and the rocks playing the music, and Kino is classic, right? So I can't hate on it too much. It's just like hating on Noct. But nowadays when people say overhated, it's because of the Chaotic Silencer, the best zombies map of all time. Kino der Toten Black Ops 1. So now everyone's like, oh, Jesus Christ! Or Watch Mojo or IGN or any other COD multiplayer YouTuber, they'd be like, yeah, I love the theater one. Oh, dude, back in my day, I used to love Kino.
It's gotta be top 3. I used to stay up till 3 a.m. playing that map with my boys. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I like 5 more. I love the 5 intro. Sounds like someone's working it. I love the 5 intro. I love that one. Next take, Colin. I don't even want to read it.
Oh god.
Do I have Jolz in the? Man. Is Jolz commenting right now? What is going on?
Jolz's burner.
Jolz's burner. Blood of the Dead is a top 3 zombies map. Anyways, on to our next take.
Yeah, Colin, I know him. He's a Blood of the Dead stan. Like, he will die on that hill that it's a great zombies map. I think, like, from a gameplay perspective, it's not good. I think a hotter take of mine is that the Easter egg is actually really good. Like, I know people will disagree with that because of how complex it is. But I think that, like, it's probably the most, like, cinematic Easter egg. I like the, like, middle of the Easter egg cutscene. Some of the steps are annoying, I totally get that. But if you're playing as Richthofen, you can interact with the cryopods and you get Samuel in your head. I think it's just another, like, gameplay feature that's pretty cool. The boss fight's a little lackluster and underwhelming.
It's underwhelming, for sure.
Yeah, but, like, as a top 3 zombies map of all time, no, I could probably list, like, 13 maps that might be ahead of Blood of the Dead, even though I don't hate it as much as everybody else does.
I think if the take, you know, listen, top 3 zombies map is insane, but we're not Blood of the Dead haters over here. We're not.
Nope.
We're not Blood of the Dead haters. But our final take is from this guy that is, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of in this, like, he's kind of near me right now. He's kind of in this call. The call kind of stinks. And honestly, this guy's
oh my god, catching a stray for no reason, bro.
You don't even know the guy I'm talking about, so I don't know what you're on about. This guy's name is MC Zombie Slayer, I think. I can't. No, just kidding. No, we'll have you read off in it because this is your take.
Alright, this is coming from the stinky guy over here. He says, Mauer der Toten is the best zombies map since Gorod Kurvi, and since it's my take, I'm gonna have to defend it. I could honestly see Spaceland. I low-key forgot about Spaceland, but for me, I think Mauer der Toten is the best map since Gorod Kurvi. I think it's the most BO3-esque map since Black Ops 3 was out. I think Black Ops 4 started to really stray away from what BO2 and what BO3 did great. Yeah, the formula. And I think it's like the perfect, in Cold War, it's like the perfect mix of, you can just hop on and have like a fun, casual game, get the Cerberus, and just high round if you really want to. But the Easter egg in that map is like the perfect difficulty in my opinion. Like, you have to know what you're doing and you have to maximize the low rounds in order to like have pretty easy time at the Easter egg. But if you start getting into the 20s and 30s and you don't even have Klaus upgraded yet, it's gonna be kind of a difficult completion for you.
Yeah.
And then just like the map ambiance was really, really good. I felt like the map size was perfect. It wasn't like super big where you have to run from one side of the map to the other. There are different ways to get there, whether it's the zip lines above ground or going underground. I think Klaus is like the best AI in Zombies history, above Leroy, above everybody else. That might be a hot take. I just think the dude's fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know. I'm all for Mauer Toten. I think it's the best map since Goron Krovi. Maybe Spaceland's up there too. Low-key forgot about that one, but still, I think it's great. I will stand on Mauer Toten being the best Cold War map.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. I love Mauer Toten. I'm so happy you're saying this, because I have people around me that are like, Mauer Toten's just another Cold War map. But I love Mauer Toten so much. I love the Easter egg. I agree with you. It's perfect difficulty. It's the best wonder weapon in Cold War, although I really like the Crystal Axe. Klaus is such a funny addition in that game. I love his character in that map. Upgrading him makes sense. That's an Easter egg that makes sense. Valentina is a great boss. The Panzer works on that map.
Yep.
I love Mauer. I don't know if it's as good as 9. I do really love 9. I think Mauer is better than Spaceland. I do like it more than Ancient Evil. It's just right there with 9. But this is not a bad take at all. I really do like Mauer. I think it's the best Zombies map in Cold War. And if the launch map for Black Ops 6 was Mauer Toten, I would be more than happy with it.
Me too. I think if Terminus can compete with Mauer Toten in terms of its just like overall difficulty and its vibes, I'm thinking we're in for a good year.
Yeah, I think I did a ranking every Zombies map video, because that's just what you do when you're in this community. And
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I had Mauer about 7 or 8. Would you have it in your top 10?
I swear I literally just did this in my head a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about that take, and I was like, it's gotta be like 7. Like if I had to walk it down from the Black Ops 1 or World at War all the way up through Cold War, I was like, it's right around 7 or 8, and I don't think I could put any maps above it that I already had personally.
I love that map so much. It really, I played more Mauer Toten than probably definitely Firebase and Forsaken combined. I don't know about Day Machine, because that was just the beginning of the game. But I played so much Mauer, and I love that map. I think it's amazing. I don't even speedrun. I speedrun that map. That's how much I like it. All right. But I completely agree. But yeah, dude. Honestly, W take. Maybe he doesn't stink. I don't know, man. W take. But it was a good take, man. I've had some people bring in their own takes, and I'm just like, yo, I have to pretend like this is even okay, because I can't just be like, yo, that's trash right in front of them, you know what I'm saying? But this one's pretty good, man. I like this one. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was reading off your hot takes. All right, I appreciate you all so much watching. Once again, we had MZC as our guest. You would like to say anything before we head out?
Spaceland is 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better than Beast from Beyond. That's all I gotta leave off on.
And Blood, that's bottom 3. No, just kidding. No, but I appreciate you guys once again. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are the absolute best. Check out the other hot takes videos. We've had amazing guests on, and this is just yet another one in that awesome lineup. But thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you all very, very soon.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.